Welcome back to another episode of the Brilliant Resilient Experience.
Hey, nowadays the pain follow me. Deal with trauma privately. I don't want to be a burden. I handle things to follow me.
I feel like this is really marrying the two fields, I guess, right? Because it's still real fighting. Like the fights I've had, I really was getting hit. I love influencer boxing. I think it's so freaking fun.
Today we have a very special guest. She is multi-talented. We have an actress, singer, and a boxer. She has fought in Influencer Fight League, and she creates a lot of social media content, and she's just a very interesting person. I am so excited to get to know her and learn more about her, not only about her life and boxing and acting and singing, but also just kind of what drives her and, living a purpose-driven life. So I'm really excited to have this conversation. I know it's going to be a blast. So let's go ahead and bring on Nikki Hru. Hey.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Oh my gosh, you have such a lovely voice.
It's the microphone. It makes it sound like way better. It's a secret.
I need that microphone for if I'm recording any singing because you sound phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, it makes a big difference, definitely. But I have had people tell me that. Like I was at the pet store, I think, and somebody was like, "You have a really interesting voice." And I was like, "Thanks." I was like, "I do a lot of podcasts, so maybe that's why."
No, I love that. That's one of my favorite compliments to get because because I'm raspy normally, but this is extra. This is just.
Oh, I was in the same boat. Trust me. I was listening to some podcasts I did when I was sick, and I was like,
yeah, that's how I feel right now.
Oh, you sound
but
fine.
I got bullied so much well, not so much, but I did get bullied for my voice.
Same.
And so like, oh my God, it's the raspy girl life, man. Oh my gosh. But then I realized I was like, as I got older, I started getting compliments and I was like, the children just didn't understand.
Yeah, Well, I grew up in a small town too. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I definitely did not fit in with like most of the people that went to my school.
I am the same. Oh, do you want me to make this horizontal?
It's whatever's easier for you.
It's
I can crop it in a certain way. So no, you're fine. Most people just do it on their phone anyway, so you're good.
Oh, perfect. But I completely get that. I did not fit in growing up. I was just forever an oddball.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you posted something in your story about that. And I was just like, facts.
Yes. Everyone who was bullied growing up is like, oh, I'm successful now, despite you guys.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We just didn't have our tribe.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it. And I think it's also just this unwillingness to bend to other people's personalities. Because I think that was my biggest thing is that like people all wanted to be the same as whatever clique they were joining. And I was like, I don't understand. I just like what I like.
Yeah. Well, and I have so many different interests too that like I never had like one friend group really. Like I just had different types of friends or sometimes I had no friends,
I identify. I get that.
Finally somebody gets it. Oh my gosh, it was such a struggle. But now it's like almost a gift, I feel like.
I completely agree. And I remember graduating high school and freshman year and then the end of sophomore year, there were these two like big waves of people I went to school with being like, you had it figured out, man. You just didn't give a fuck what anyone thought. And I was like, no, I did. It hurt. I just refused to change.
Like, exactly. Yes. I completely agree. I'm the same way. That's why I wanted to talk to you because I'm like, oh, we're like the same vibe for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And plus, raspy voiced girls, I've realized we're either like the best people or the worst. Like there is no middle ground with us.
It's a struggle. Yeah. That's so cool
Oh,
that I haven't listened to. I don't even know if your music is where I can find it, but I haven't listened to any of it,
it's
so I need
nowhere
to.
yet. It's
Oh,
nowhere. It's
it's a
nowhere yet.
mystery.
It's yes, it will one day. It will. I'm aiming to release my first single in January. My Instagram has
Nice.
stuff of me just singing, but it's
Yeah,
mostly just like, yeah. But I'm hoping to release my first like actual single this January.
that's awesome. Well, you'll have to send it to me whenever you do, because I will
Yes.
listen to it ASAP. Yeah.
Ah,
That was like I was just talking, so I just had Tony Soto on. He's a bare knuckle boxer. And I was just talking to him because like we both started skateboarding when we were really young, and like I used to
oh,
be
I
into
love that.
skateboarding because I'm a weirdo. And
I
I was
get
like the
it.
only girl that's to skateboard.
I also had a skater phase. I am right there
Yes.
with you.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it.
Former emo kids and the skater kids, we go like
Mm-hmm.
this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When Avril Lavigne came out, I just like lost my mind.
Oh, oh my gosh. I was obsessed with that woman. It
Yeah.
was, I remember like listening to her, Blink 182 and Mayday Parade, like on repeat throughout middle school.
Yes.
And everyone just being like, Elle, what are you listening to? And I was like, I'm sorry, the greatest music ever. Like,
Yeah. Like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. See, we had it all figured out the whole time. It was everybody else that was wrong.
I know. And now the When We Were Young concerts are coming, and the same kids who bullied me are
Oh.
trying to post about it. And I'm like, you guys are welcome because everyone is welcome, but I have my eye on you. Like you are side
Mm-hmm.
eyed.
Yep. Oh, I remember. I'm like, I remember. I remember who made fun of me. I'm like, I see you. I see you wearing skinny jeans
Exactly.
now. Oh, I remember when you made fun of me for wearing skinny jeans and checkered vans, and now it's cool and nostalgic.
Yes.
Like, no,
Yes. I'm
don't
like,
play that
it's
game
not
with
your
me.
nostalgia. Okay. I
Yeah.
lived it. You made fun of it. This is not your nostalgia.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, yeah, you were wearing all your preppy clothes and whatever. And like I had a preppy clothes face
Yes.
too, but it was because I was like getting made fun of so much that I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wear what everybody else wears for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I don't like
And then I
this.
hated it. I remember one Christmas, I spent my Christmas money getting like a Juicy Couture sweatsuit set and like some of like the popular kids' clothes. I wore it for a week and I remember going, I hate this. Like you guys live your life. I hate this. And I went right back to all of my,
Yeah.
to just all of my skater clothes that were too big.
I love it. My favorite thing now is like to get an extra large sweatshirt from like Target and just jam it out. Yeah. It's my favorite thing ever.
Oh,
I either like skinny jeans and like crop tops or
yeah.
giant oversized hoodies. That's like my jam.
Do you remember cutting the thumb holes in all of the oversized? I feel like the thumb
Yes.
holes was such a low key little signal to each other.
Yeah.
Where it is,
Oh yeah.
I was like, you see me.
The best thing was when they came with the thumb holes. That was the greatest.
Oh, that's
Whenever
how
I
you
found one
knew.
that had the thumb holes already, I was like, oh, snap.
Like
Let's
back when Hot
go.
Topic was selling like actual like emo stuff.
Yeah. What do they even sell now? I haven't been in a Hot Topic in a minute.
Like like half, and I have nothing against anime because I'm an anime nerd, but like it's half anime, half like
Oh, it's like
I don't
for
even know.
smart kids now.
I guess
I
I
was a smart kid, but I
it
wasn't like,
confuses me.
it's so funny. I was like smart enough that I couldn't fit in with like, I guess the cool
Yeah.
kids that like got like D's and F's in their classes, but they were cool. And then like the cool kids that were smart. So I was just like smart enough, but not smart enough to fit in with like the smarty pants. So I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I was screwed.
I I just I so I just didn't try in school, and you would, and like my teachers would get so mad because I was constantly skating by like I naturally just got it. So like
Yeah.
as soon as you told me it, I was like cool. And they were putting me in classes that were lower than I should have been in,
Yeah.
which is the opposite of what every study suggests you do when you have a student that's, but whatever. I'm not here to talk shit. They were doing their best.
They
Um,
tried.
but I was just skating by. I was like, I'm good. Whatever gets me out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Oh
how I
my
felt
gosh.
in some classes. They put me in luckily Thank God they did. They put me in the advanced program or whatever when I was in like fourth grade or fifth grade or something like that. And dude, I was
Yeah.
on the equations team.
Oh my God, I love that. Oh my gosh.
Is that not the nerdiest thing you've ever heard in your life?
It's my favorite. I love that so much. And oh my gosh, I get that.
Yeah, good times. Well, speaking of growing up in
Yes.
childhood, when did you start boxing?
So I started with combat sports as a whole really young. My dad is pretty diversely trained, and so all of us kind of got trained by him and like roughhoused with each other. And I'm like, not only am I the smallest, I'm like the youngest by 12, 10, 6 years. So
Oh
they were all
wow,
significantly bigger than me growing up. And even now
that's
I'm still the
fun.
smallest. They're so tall.
Are your sibling?
Um,
Do you have brothers, sisters? What?
two sisters and a brother.
Nice.
And we're all like, one of my sisters is in the military.
Me
My other
too.
sister was just, it's awesome.
I swear we're
Um,
like from a parallel universe.
we're very similar. You're the blonde me.
Yeah,
Um,
literally.
but and then my other sister was always just a natural athlete. My brother was a state champ wrestler.
Nice.
And then my mom was just very rowdy. She's just like, she had a scholarship for field hockey when she went to college. So she is, yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
we're all just like that. And
I
then I
love that.
took, yeah, it was so fun. And then I took random things. Like I took kung fu when I was at Catholic school. So when I was like less than 10, um, I took self-defense courses throughout high school. I was wrestling. They wouldn't let me start a girls team. I was very upset, but I would wrestle with all the boys. Um, I was legit because I went to private school, so like they got to say no. I
That's
was very
funny.
upset.
I went to
Um,
Catholic school for a few years. So
oh
that makes
gosh, I'm
sense.
sorry.
That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense that we're very similar. I feel
yeah.
like
I went
anytime I
to,
meet someone that
yeah.
went to Catholic school, we just kind of like get it. We're just like, yeah, we
It's
got
a
you.
specific type of trauma. Um, my but I left Catholic school after, like, for fifth grade on. I was at a prep school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That had
so
to be
Catholic school
interesting.
was, it it was a thing. Dear God. Um, they're the ones who wouldn't let me start the girls wrestling team or a gay club,
Rude.
just for the record. I was upset about both of those things.
How rude of them.
I know. Um, but anyways, yeah, and then yeah, I just on and off boxing classes throughout high school, college. I took a boxing course, like as an actual like class.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, because I just want, and I was teaching self defense throughout college. So
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, so I've just been kind of all over the place for like
Yeah.
ever.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of the same way. I have so many different interests and I kind of like fall in and out of
Yeah,
them over time. But martial arts in combat sports is something I got into a little bit later in life. Like I'm 28 now and I think I was gosh, I don't remember how old I was when I first watched MMA. I think I was like maybe 19 or 20 the first time I like
okay.
watched it. But my dad's a big MMA fan. And so like even my mom, like me and my mom watched a bare knuckle MMA on Friday together. She watched the whole card.
That's what's up. That's so fun. It's
Yeah.
just so fun to watch.
It is. Yeah. So it's but martial arts, combat sports, that's and I just box. I mean I've taken a jujitsu class and like it's cool, but like I have lupus, so I have joint pain. So I'm like kind of scared to like
Got
get
it.
too into jujitsu because I'm like, I don't want to like hurt myself with like my joints. So
It's
I'm like,
fair.
I'm gonna ease into it. I might do it a little bit, but I kind of want to focus on the striking just because it seems like that's a better fit for me and for like my body. Just like what
Yeah.
my body responds to. But for me, it really just kind of it's the first time that I felt like I actually like fit in somewhere. I don't know about you, but like it
I love
really
that.
like and not that I fit in because like people at my gym and like people that I talk to and interact with in the community, like we're all so different. but
Yeah.
we all have like that common thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you feel about that.
I no, I completely agree. I won't say it's the first place that I ever felt like I fit in and found a family was when I joined so my school had like a circus.
Oh,
And so when I
wow.
joined that, yeah, that's the first place that I
That's
ever was
dope.
like, oh, this is family. But the fighting community and the combat sports community is a very close second in my life, right? Like
Yeah.
so I completely get what you mean. There's something about martial arts as a whole that if you're doing it, there really is like a thread in us that all of us have in common, no matter how different we all are. And I think
100%.
it's so cool to meet people because there's this very specific, like, you get it kind of
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I'm always surprised at how many other common interests I have too with people in martial arts. And I never would have thought that like before I got into it. Like, I never would have thought that going to an MMA gym or a boxing gym, like, that I would meet people that have like similar upbringings as me or like similar interests as
Yeah.
me. It's so cool. And I feel like too, it just kind of helps me kind of stay on a better track in life too, of like kind of being healthier and like taking care of myself and like, not going and partying all the time like I used to when
Yeah.
I was in my early 20s. So it's like, yeah, it makes me a
Get
more
that.
responsible person, I feel like too.
Yeah. Well, it's so cool how it starts to affect every part of your life.
It
Like
does.
I've seen people come from nothing and
Yeah.
have horrible habits and have no foundation, have no support. And then they find a gym and you see them get built as people. And all of
Yeah.
a sudden they start succeeding in everything else that they're doing. And it's so cool. And then they have a community, they have people who are supporting them, they have people who want to see them succeed. And it's that unwavering belief in themselves and that other people have in them. And you just see entire lives just change. And that's so cool.
Oh, 100%. And like even like a lot of the fighters too, like the amateur fighters, the pro fighters, it's
Oh,
cool to
absolutely.
see them obviously when they win and they fight and it's awesome, but it's like it's cool to see them win in other areas of life too and just to see like them grow as a person through fighting and through, their training. And it just, yeah, it seems like one of those things that does help you
Yeah.
really just develop as a human being. And I think it's because it's something that you really can always improve on and you can always get
Yeah.
better, and it's challenging. It's hard.
Yeah. And it's not something you can cheat at. I think that's the
No.
other really big one. Like, because there are so many, especially in like our modern society, there's so much instant gratification. And there's so much
Yes.
like everyone wants to be instantly accessible to other people or wants other people instantly accessible to them. They want instant results. They want instant this, instant dopamine, instant that, blah, 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 blah. Like, and it's, which I think is so bad for you, but that's a whole other really big topic. There's no instant gratification with fighting. There just
Yeah.
isn't. Like you have to train for months for like what, 10 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's that's so defining. And you just keep working, and every choice you make in every aspect of your life ends up affecting how you do in the ring.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because you see the fighters a lot of times that have, they're more disciplined and they have just
Mm-hmm.
more self control. A lot of times they are better at fighting. But
Oh
then,
my gosh, yeah.
you have the rare occasions where, like John Jones when he was in his prime, like he was just
Oh my
partying
gosh,
it
yeah.
up. And it's like, I don't know
Well, some people are
how.
just monsters, man. I don't that's
Yeah.
that's a different breed. Some people
Oh my
are
gosh, I
just
know.
monsters. And I
Yeah.
mean that in the best way,
Oh yeah.
right? But yeah, that's a different but that like I always look at those people and I'm like, dang, I wonder how incredible you'd be if you did have the discipline because you already
Yes.
have so much of the natural talent.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
know.
dang.
Yeah, well, it's
But
the same way with like music too. Like
oh
there's
my gosh, yeah.
musicians like, well, like Tyler Childers, for example, like he was, I guess had issues with addiction quite a bit before, and then fairly recently. He like got sober and, you know, like got more into like religion and all that stuff. And then now I don't know, he just like kind of glows in a different way. And I feel like
Yeah.
and like there's, of course, I love his old music, and that will kind of always have a special place in my heart because I'm a huge Tyler fan. But I feel like he has evolved in such a different way of like his music now is just a little bit more sophisticated, and it kind of hits different. Like it has a little bit more emotion to it in a different way. And it's so cool seeing him perform. And I think that's the biggest difference that I see. Like watching him perform, you know, when he was doing his older stuff, when he had the beard and the long hair, and then seeing him now, he's clean shaven, he has his head, you know, like you can actually see his face. And the way that he sings, the way that he moves, like the way that he performs is like he just looks so much happier. And to me, it's like I like to see that, even though I love the music from before. It's like I love to see somebody just look genuinely happy, whether I like their music or not, you know. And I love his new music, but a lot of people don't like it, that were like old fans. But I do. I'm like, you know what?
Well, some people just don't like change.
I'll like it. Oh, I know. It's crazy. Yeah. But
I love that. And I think it says a lot about a person, like the fact that you kind of hone in on his happiness, right? Like honing in on people's actual experiences and caring about where people are at, because we see this a lot with artists, right? A lot of people are very tortured, a lot of people have a lot of trauma, and to turn that into something beautiful is phenomenal, but it takes a toll. And a lot of fans, I think, kind of revel in the misfortune of the artist almost. And then when the artist starts getting healthier, they're like, well, where's my trauma? Like, where's my representation of the darker sides of me? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, no, let people heal. Like the fact that you're finding joy in him being happier. I feel like that's how it should be.
Yes. Because if you're truly a fan of that person and their art, then you want them to continue to grow and evolve and become a happier, better person. Of course.
I completely agree.
Yeah, 100%. So I love to see it. And I feel like too, like comedians are another huge one. Like stand-up comedians.
Gosh, yeah.
The trauma with them is like insane. It's insane.
So I do stand-up as a hobby. Not like anything serious. Yeah, I just do it as a hobby.
Oh my gosh.
And I stepped out of it for a couple of years because like COVID and everything, I just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And then I ran into an old comedian friend. We were catching up, and I had some pretty heavy stuff going on. And so I told him a little bit about it, and he goes, so it's time to return to comedy. And I was just like you are absolutely correct. And I got it. Like I got on a little open mic like within a week, and I was just like, oh, this is so cathartic. This is great.
Love that. That's funny. I feel like I always turn to music whenever I'm going through something. I always get back. That's how people can usually tell that I'm depressed, is like if I start posting a bunch of music videos. It's like, yeah, Bree's going through some shit right now.
Well, I mean, it's as long as you have that outlet, man. And that's what's so incredible about martial arts, art, moving your body, or just any of it. Like whatever the outlet is, as long as it's not hurting people.
Right. Yeah.
Well, unless I guess martial arts is kind of, unless we both are agreeing to hurt each other, I guess. But like martial arts makes that so muddy. But as long as you're not unconsensually hurting people,
right.
Those outlets are just so good and so important.
100%. Yeah, I've always wanted to try stand-up comedy. I think I will at some point.
Oh my gosh, do it.
Yeah. I don't know.
We can do it together.
Yeah.
We'll do a little open mic.
Yeah, I feel like one day I have to do it for sure. Cause like I always joke around. I'm like, basically I want to be the female Joe Rogan because I
saw that.
And it's funny because like I never thought about it, but I'm like, okay, I've been a Joe Rogan fan literally since I was a kid, and which is hilarious. Like I don't know any other like 10-year-old girls that were like listening to Joe
It's like
Rogan's
Joe
comedy.
Rogan, let's go.
Yeah, like, and like I never even like told anybody about it because I'm like, nobody knows who this is, you know, at my age. And then I kind of thought about it and I'm like, okay, the MMA podcast, and like I do the other podcast, like the post-fight interviews. I'm like, I kind of am turning into Joe Rogan.
I love that. You found your
So now I have to do comedy.
mentor.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
so here for this journey.
That's funny. Well, that's why I was so interested to talk to you, because you have like so many different things that you do and you're interested in. And I love that. And it's like, you hear all the time people say like, oh, you got to find one thing and like focus on one thing. And I'm like,
they say that to me
no,
all the
I can't.
time. I can't do it because then I lose the passion for the one thing. Like if I can't. Sorry, that was so dramatic, but like I that is like the biggest, like, I don't know, pet peeve maybe, because people are like, you need to pick a lane, and I'm like, yeah, I pick the entire highway. Okay, like this is ridiculous. I just want to do the things I love as I love them. That way I can like, because I feel like it makes my inner fire so much stronger to be able to bounce around.
Oh, 100%. Well, and I don't know about you, but I have ADHD, and I feel like that is definitely a common trait of us.
Yeah. Yes.
For sure.
Oh my, not to cut you off, but I feel like you'll identify with this. I was just having this conversation with someone about how like ADHD, it's so funny because I feel the need to clarify that it's not I'm quirky ADHD.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, no, I had problems connecting with my peers, and like my executive function gets broken sometimes. And I can't remember, like my time management, not even time management, my time blindness is a mess. Like explaining all of those things is so not like, it's not quirky. No, it's a disorder.
I'm like, it's not cute. I'm a mess. No,
I am a hot mess. I found ways to deal with it, but dear God.
Yeah, it's hard, especially like when I got off medication. Because like when I was on medication for it, I felt like it was like, I was like, oh my God, life is so much easier when I'm on this medication. But at the same time, it was like other things about my personality changed that I didn't like. And it made me like more angry and like, just like I don't know. I was always just like trying to get stuff done. And like, I was never just like living in the moment. And I also just felt like, okay, this cannot be good for me. Like what it's doing to my body. I'm like, there's no way this is good. This is basically crack. Like I need to stop taking this. And
I have okay, finish, and then I have a funny story for you.
So I stopped taking it a couple years ago, and I basically just decided that I'm going to just lean into my ADHD. And it was hard. Trust me. Like it's been hard, like even basic things, like any kind of admin or paperwork or anything like that. It's like, see you later. Like I'm a struggle bus, but I feel like leaning into it now, I'm starting to really kind of get into my groove with it. I'm starting to figure out how to deal with it.
Well, because the world's not built like, or our society's not built for people with ADHD. So we kind of have to build our lives around it. But once you do, it's so much. Once you decide, I'm not going to mask, I'm going to organize my house in the way that makes sense to me. I'm going to organize my fridge in the way that makes sense to me. It doesn't need to be what's on TV or what other people think. I don't care. I'm going to do what fits my brain. Everything gets so much easier and so much happier. Like I started loving myself so much more when I was like, I don't care. No more mask. I'm living my life, and you can deal with my symptoms or not.
Yeah.
Like, well, like to a degree, right? It's not an excuse to be rude or like disrespect people's times or anything like that. But if I'm just being me, decide to like me or not, stay or leave.
Yep.
And it's gotten so much easier.
Yeah. Well, and you have to like put yourself in environments too that kind of set you up for success. Because I feel like that was 100%. A huge thing for me, was like, because growing up in school, like my teachers always told me I was so smart, and like I always had good grades, and like I don't know, things came natural to me, kind of like you said. Like I just feel like I've always had like a really good intuition, and just overall, like I feel like I'm fairly smart. It just not like, maybe not science smart, math smart, but like, but hey, I was on the equations team, just saying.
That's so funny. So
But
I love science and math. Oh my God, that's so
it's funny. I
funny.
like it now, but I felt like, actually, you know what my worst subject was? My worst subject was history. And you know why? Because I can't remember shit.
I used to make songs to remember things. That was my oh my gosh, so many songs.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know half of like what happened to America, so don't ask me any history questions ever, because
that's
I don't
so
know
funny.
what happened.
I'm great with like, I'm such a researcher. That's like one of the symptoms for my ADHD is I get focused and I'm
you
like,
just
I
like
try to
go
learn
all in on like a certain topic that
oh
at
my
like 3
gosh,
a.m.
Yeah. My sister nicknamed me Encyclopedia when I was little. Because I just fun facts for days. Like I'm great. If you ever need a trivia partner at the bar, I freaking got you. I I am such a nerd for trivia. I love it so much.
That's
But then if
hilarious.
you ask me what I did last weekend,
yeah, I
nothing.
can't remember.
Absolutely nothing. I have to go back and be like, okay, the weekend, what happened? Okay, Saturday. I woke up.
It's amazing. Like sometimes people think I'm just like making shit up, and I'm like, no, I just don't remember anything. Sorry.
Oh my God. The amount of times I've been called, they're like, you don't know what you did yesterday. And I'm like, it wasn't exciting enough for me to remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or like, oh, you don't remember me? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I'm sorry. Be more memorable.
Oh my, that part. Oh my gosh. I try so hard sometimes. And then I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I always feel like a horrible person, but I really do.
I do too. Well, especially now, because like people recognize me all the time, especially like now that I'm doing like the interviews and stuff.
Oh, that's just a little dust off your shoulder there. Just, you know.
I feel so bad. But like I'm almost like oblivious to it though, because it's like I'm not like famous or anything. So it's like
was for a reason. Proceed.
It's funny though, because it's like, yeah, I don't even know how this even happened. Like how people, like, it's just so weird to me. It's so weird to me because like usually when people recognize me, I just like, my first instinct is just like hide. So so now I'm just like trying to be better at socializing with people that I don't know, but it's hard because I'm so awkward.
I get that. I'm awkward, but in the most weird way, because I feel like I have no idea how to be a person with people. But then like if you say hi to me, I will treat you like we have been best friends since kindergarten. And then you'll tell me we never met, and I'll be like, oh, my bad. Like it's just my immediate instinct is just, oh, we are friends. Like a puppy. It's like a puppy.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I feel like it depends on the person for sure. Like there's some people that I meet, like I can feel energy. And if I feel like someone has bad energy, oh no. No, too much trauma from that.
It's as soon as you feel like a mean, like specifically a mean girl, this isn't like, I'm not being gendered. It's just a lot of my bullying. Like, because when it came to the guys, I just kind of beat them up. When it came to the girls,
love that.
when it came to the girls, like I don't know. I just, some of them were like, I have so much trauma with mean girls.
Same.
That like as soon as it's that clicky mean girl snidey energy, I'm like,
can't do it.
You're out. Like I don't know what game we're playing, but you're out. Like I can't do it.
Absolutely not. Yeah, cannot do it. Cannot do it. It's just
Can
so weird
I
to
already
me.
feel like we're friends.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was about to like post this the other day. I'm like, if you come on my podcast, we're friends forever. Like it's just a rule.
I love that. Okay. Because like same. Perfect.
Yeah, like it's just a rule. You have to. Because I feel like everybody I've had on, I just vibe with. Like, everybody I've had on has been so cool. And I
I
don't
love that.
even hardly ever ask people to come on. Like I asked you to come on, and there's a couple other people I asked to come on. I don't even remember, but a lot of people were like, they asked me to come on, or somebody
Oh,
recommended them to come on. So
I
it's
love
like,
that.
yeah, it's really cool. And I think it's just, I think that makes it so much more fun because then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
they've seen my content. They know kind of what they're getting into a little bit. And sometimes they ask to come on and they've never watched it before. And I'm like, that's fine. You know, there's like 10,000 podcasts. So I don't expect you to listen to all of them.
Yeah.
Especially not mine. You know, it's fine. Like I'm not super famous. I don't have millions of followers, but um
Yet.
yet,
I like
exactly.
to throw in
Yeah,
the yets. Yet.
exactly. Manifesting that. Yeah. But it's fun because it's like, yeah, they already kind of like root for me, support me a little bit. Like, even if they haven't watched the podcast, they've like seen my posts, they like see what I'm
I
doing,
love
they
that.
know a little bit about me. So it's cool. And yeah, I love it. And that's why I don't go around just like DMing a million people asking people to come on because they have like 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I've had people on that. I think I had somebody on that didn't even have Instagram. I don't even remember. Like, I've had people on that just don't even, like, nobody knows who they are. I love that, actually. I love having people on who nobody knows who they are because it's just amazing. I'm like, you guys need to know this person. I'm like, let me show
I,
you.
and that's amazing. I think that's so amazing. Sorry, I wanted to stop fidgeting because I kept
Oh,
moving
you're
it.
fine.
But gosh, I usually have a whole setup. I am not at my house at the moment.
Oh, you're fine.
Silence. Anyways, but I love that. I think that's so fun. And like it's you get to know people at such a different level, but also it always kind of
Yeah.
shocks me, not shocks me because I know I have many friends who don't have Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
but because it's such an integral part of my life, when I meet new people and they're like, I don't have one, I'm like, I don't understand. Like,
I
what?
know. I live
You
on
don't have to
Instagram.
check your analytics? What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I
As someone
know.
asked, they were like, you can check analytics on Instagram. I was like, you must have such a peaceful life.
I know, right? You know what the most frustrating part is? When you like
Mm,
post stuff, people feel like you have to respond to them right away when they message you. And I'm like, yo, this is like, I'm trying to build my
yeah,
career. Like, this is
yeah,
not me just like posting because I want
willing.
to talk to everybody. Because there's sometimes like
That's
I'll
so
post
funny.
stuff and I'll just be
Yeah,
like in the most antisocial mood ever.
I
And
get
I'm
that.
just like, I don't want to talk to people. And then people message me and I'll feel so bad. Like, I'm the type of person where I try to respond right away to everybody.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I'm just like thinking about it. I'm like, oh, I need to respond to
Oh,
this person. I need to respond to this person. I'm like, they probably hate me now because I didn't respond and they probably think I hate them. It's
I
like, no,
yeah,
like they don't care. They really don't care that much. Some
yeah.
people do.
Some people really care.
Dude.
It I put out a disclaimer. Even my closest friends, like literally right now, I just remembered one of my best friends. There's a huge story she sent me. I read it. I haven't responded yet.
I feel
I'm
so bad sometimes because I just forget.
I'm so bad because like my thing is like all my friends know and anyone who's close to me knows I'm really bad at responding, but eventually I will get there. And
Yeah.
it's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't
Yeah.
care. And if you tell me, Nikki, there's an emergency and I need you, done. I'm there. Whatever I'm doing is dropped.
Yes.
But if it's just
100%.
day-to-day life,
Dude,
I'll
I
get to
know.
it.
Yeah. It's like, and there's sometimes where it's like people that I feel like I'm in a phase right now where I'm moving from like my social media used to be like for more personal stuff and like fun and like
Mm,
friends
I know
and
it's
stuff like that.
transitioning.
And then now it's
Yeah.
more for like business, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Um and it's just weird. Like it's so weird and I almost kind of miss when it used to just be, but I don't know, but I love creating content though. That's the thing. So it's like,
Yes, you gotta make a second one for all
yeah,
of the
that's a good idea.
homies. That's
That's
I
a good idea.
just I like never I sorry guys, I do have one. I have a second one. It's just for the homies. And I like never use it, but just knowing it's there Feels so nice because every once in a while I'll post on the story and be like, I can't tell everyone this, but I can tell these 12 individuals.
I never thought to do that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, because I almost feel like there are
Letting out
certain
secrets.
things that like I only want to like share with like certain people. And like even too, just the internet is such a scary place sometimes too, where like I don't want to like post like personal stuff on there sometimes because it's like
Yeah.
I don't want them coming after my family, you know,
Oh,
my friends. Like, no, like leave them alone. They don't want to be in the spotlight. I do, but like they don't. So leave them alone.
That's I won't post any of my friends without asking them first.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like a huge like, but I won't post any of my friends without asking them first. And any children in my family.
Yeah, that's huge.
Absolutely not. Like they're
Oh my
not on my
God. I was
social
listening
media.
to
Not
Whitney
my kids. I
Cummings
don't
was
have any.
on Rogan and
Continue.
she was talking about how they do this thing now. It's really scary where like
Yeah.
these child predators will like
Terrifying.
stalk their like parents' Instagram and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll like go up and like talk to them and be like, oh yeah, remember you were at Disney World and you were at this ice cream place at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and like they'll know all these things about them. And so the
Terrifying.
kid like thinks they know this person. And I'm like, yo, that is just
That's so I'm gonna
scary.
since we're sharing secrets like fake Instagrams or like second Instagrams. Another thing that I personally do, I don't post in real time.
Yeah.
I just do not post in real time. If I'm like when I'm on a trip, for example, I will not post anything until after I get back from the trip.
Yeah.
Like it's sorry guys. I love you all. It's not that I don't trust you, but my account's public
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't trust everyone, you know? And
Dude,
it
I
also
know.
helps me be like in the moment more on my trips. I
Yeah.
don't need to be like, oh my gosh, what photo am I posting today? I can
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
yeah. But
Yeah, you can just take the pictures and then
that's
when you
my
get
tip.
back, then you can go through
Exactly.
all of them and post them. Yeah, it's so much better that way.
Yeah. So that's my safety tip for social media. Just don't post in real time. And I try to be mindful about what like what's the word I want? Not labeling, but identifying information I have. I'm never gonna post the door of my apartment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah, no kidding.
um,
There's always little things too that you just don't even think about. And then you're like, oh,
yeah.
probably should not have posted that.
Yeah. Like one of my friends, she moved, this is years ago. She moved and posted like, this is my new place. And she like thought she scratched out the number. Um, but then I was like, hey, it's in the reflection of this.
Oh my
And she
God.
immediately just took it down. And I was just like, yeah, bro.
Dude, and it's crazy. Like people will
Safety.
comment on stuff and they'll be like talking about where I live or like asking me where I live. I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, don't talk about where I
Delete.
live. I'm like, I do not want people knowing where I live. I'm like, no way. I have too
Yeah.
many people that are obsessed with me and stalk me. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. And not that like I'm being like self-inflating or anything, but it's like, no, there's people
No,
that
but it's,
legitimately like stalk me. And I'm like, yo, this
yeah,
is creepy.
it
Yeah.
definitely, there's definitely a line. Like and I want to be clear, I'm so thankful for
Yeah.
every single person that follows me. I'm so thankful for my fans. I'm so thankful for the people that I've met online and through the online communities. Like, I love all of them. We don't mean you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We
You're
mean
the
the
good
people.
ones.
Yes. We don't mean them. It's the one in like 20,000 who
Yes.
just are scary.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
better safe than sorry, especially as young women. Like it's
Oh my
just,
gosh. Yeah. You have to be careful, even though,
yeah,
we train, but
yeah.
we're not
But
a
like
man. So,
it,
we're not a big
yeah,
man.
I have a decent chance against some people, but especially if you follow me, that means I have no surprise, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, like I have some surprise, but but you're not gonna go from assuming I'm incapable to being surprised that I'm capable. And that's like a huge thing for self-defense is being able to
Yes.
surprise them with your capability.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's huge to know how to defend yourself too. And I feel
Oh
like
my gosh,
that
yeah.
is something that, and it's like, yeah, obviously you don't want to rely on that because you're still in danger no matter how much training you have, but it does help. I feel like just having at least a little bit of knowing how to fight,
Yeah.
like,
And sorry, not trying to interrupt you.
oh
Continue.
no, I'm done.
Okay. Um,
I just don't know how to
I
end sentences.
okay, that's totally fine because I get excited and I accidentally interrupt people a lot.
I
I
do
don't
the
mean
same
to.
thing. No,
Okay,
you're
cool. It's
fine.
the ADHD.
Yeah, I don't even get mad because
Um,
I'm like, I do the same shit, so that's fine.
Perfect. The way I look at it for a lot of it is so I have two different thoughts organized. So when I used to teach self-defense, and I still teach some of my friends, so people are welcome to hit me up if you ever want some basics. Um, but when I used to teach self-defense, watching women learn basic things and how their confidence changed
Yes.
is so incredible. And it's finding the ways women are comfortable defending themselves, right? Like for me, I am very comfortable punching someone in the face if I have to,
Yeah.
right?
Same.
I'm also very comfortable doing other forms of self-defense. There's sirens again. Um,
Oh, I
I
don't even.
also, yeah,
Oh no,
sorry,
I can
I
hear him a little bit.
can.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Um, it's just good because I can't do anything else, right? So it's just like send a quick prayer, send good vibes, whatever, whoever needs help, because someone clearly does. But not the point. um, it's finding the ways people are comfortable defending themselves. If it's teaching a woman how to break a hold and run, awesome. If it's teaching her how to break a nose, awesome. Not everyone has the mental capability to gouge out somebody else's eyes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not, and that is extreme for extreme self-defense. Just to be clear, like, but if a stranger is attacking you, you don't know their intentions. If anyone's
Right.
attacking you, you don't know their intentions. So, like, it is life or death, but you don't want a woman to only know the extremes and then
Yes.
be uncomfortable using them. So, like,
Yeah, for sure.
learn all of it and find where you're comfortable. Find if it's only kicking them in the balls, and it's only kicking them in the balls. That is effective. Do it. That's my
100%.
PSA. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's true though,
Okay.
because it's like, yeah, I always wanted to just like, I feel like I like boxing because
Yeah.
you learn how to punch people, which is obviously
Yes.
like if you're in a situation where you need to punch somebody in the face, it's like, okay, I know how to do it. Um,
Yeah.
but also it's a sport and it's competitive and it's
Love
it's
that.
so it's so unique in that way. And that's why I think I never really did self-defense. And I think it's just
Mhm.
because I've always been kind of a competitive person and and I love
I could see that.
individual competition. So I was never a
Yeah.
big team sports person. Like I wanted to play baseball when I was little because I loved,
Mhm.
I loved baseball for some reason. I just loved sports in general, like playing it, but I always really liked individual sports and individual
Same.
competition. And I think that's what really drew me to boxing. And so it's so unique in that way where it's like it's a form of self-defense. And obviously like there's so
Absolutely.
many other forms of self-defense, but that's why I kind of got drawn to it. Whereas like traditional like
I love that.
I guess like self-defense classes or whatever never
Mhm.
really like piqued my interest necessarily because it's like okay,
Yeah.
I'm training for something that may never even happen, and then
Yeah.
but boxing is something that it's like, oh, this is a sport. This is something that I can continuously improve on. This is something that looks cool, like I feel like a
Mhm.
badass
And
when I
there's
do
no
it.
what if, right? Because
Yeah,
it's like you
exactly.
have sparring, you have
Yeah.
you have a match, whatever it is. So that's awesome.
Yes.
I love that you found like I really do. Like I get so impassioned about women in combat sports.
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing that you found yours, like your place in the entire space, right? and that you're taking up room, that you're becoming a badass, that you are a badass, that you have the confidence to defend yourself, to fight, to do all of these things that especially our age group was told that we weren't supposed to do.
Oh yeah.
Like the amount of times I got told that girls don't fight, I was like, watch me. But
Yep.
like, so I love that. And I think that's so cool. I
Yeah.
don't know
Well,
what just
and
beeped. I don't know what's beeping. We're going on a journey. I'm sorry.
I love it.
But
Yeah. Well, and
proceed.
I like to, I feel like most of my life, there have been people, and I think everybody kind of deals with this a little bit. There's always people that kind of try to put limitations on you.
Oh,
And I feel like
absolutely.
that happens so much more with women too. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like, why are people so afraid of me doing things? It's like, why don't you just let me do it? Like, it's if it doesn't affect you, and then the more I figure out the intention behind it, the more sense it makes. Cause it's like, okay, the
Yeah.
people that are putting limitations on me, they're telling me their limitations. That's what they're doing. They don't want me
Ooh,
to do something better than they're doing it.
yes. Oh my God, yes. That's
It's so
exactly
true.
that's exactly that's exactly what it is. Like when someone tells me I can't do something, I'm like, maybe you can't do
Bet.
something, but I'm gonna go do it. So
Yeah.
like I don't
And now I'm going to do it
and
better
it's
because you told me I can't do it.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's beeping. Genuinely.
I can't even hear it. It must not
Oh,
be
you
that loud.
can't? Oh,
No.
amazing. So it's just loud to me for no reason.
Oh, I
Okay,
just
good.
heard it, but it's not loud at all. Like I could
That's
barely hear it. Yeah, you're
good.
good.
Good, good. Sorry. I'm very fidgety, so I'm so sorry. This is
I'm
why
the
I
same
usually
way.
have like a stand. Um, but yeah, I completely agree with you. Like it's your limitations don't need to be mine. Furthermore, you being insecure about me surpassing you or about the potential of me surpassing you is not my
Yes,
problem.
exactly. Yeah. And I think too, it's who you surround yourself with 100%
Oh,
because
absolutely.
when you surround yourself with other people who deal with kind of the same thing, who like they overcome odds or they have an obstacle
Yeah.
that they had to go through or whatever, like when you surround yourself, and that's why I feel like honestly like doing this podcast has helped me so much because of that, because I've surrounded myself with people who have overcome odds, who have done things that are, things that they shouldn't, quote unquote, shouldn't have been able to do.
Yeah.
And it's like the more you surround yourself with people like that, I feel like it helps because you almost laugh when you hear people say
Yeah.
things.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, my mom used to have a saying that she used to say a lot to me, to all of us. But it was if you want to be a racehorse, you have to run with racehorses.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of what it is. It's finding people that don't see limitations where other people see them because they're
Yep.
the ones that are going to not only push themselves, but believe that you can be pushed. And I
Exactly.
love that.
Oh
And
my gosh,
maybe
it's so
that's the
true.
thread. Maybe that's the thread in all of the fighting community. Maybe that's what it is. Cause
Yeah.
like we're pushing our bodies. And maybe this is athletes as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
but we're pushing ourselves and we're so willing to just keep trying and keep working at it and get our asses kicked and still show up the next day ready to train to try and be better.
100%. Yeah. It's a common mindset that we have. And it
Yeah.
doesn't even matter if you're a fighter or whatever you're doing, but we all kind of come together because of that mentality. Because it's like we've had so many people, so many doubters, so many naysayers in our life. So we all
Right.
just kind of bond over that almost.
It's like, so who's the first person that tried to tell you you couldn't do it? And I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, it was Mrs. Whoever. I was 10.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so funny.
It's crazy. And two, whenever like, especially being female, like, and I don't want to sound like, I'm like going on a whole female thing. I'm sure somebody
No,
will
it's
call
like
me a feminazi,
listen,
but you're
talking to the right person.
but it's like it's seriously, especially with like being in combat sports. And it's so funny because the people who support me the most are the fighters. The people who support me the least are the people that sit on their couch eating potato chips, watching the fights. And they're like, oh, get back in the kitchen, And it's like, dude, first of all, I'm pretty good at cooking. So I already got that under control. And
I figured out the beeping. I am so sorry.
Did you really?
I heard you. I figured out the beeping and I am so happy I unplugged it. That was taking up at least 30% of my brain. I am so happy.
Relate.
Okay.
That would have bothered the shit out of me if that was happening to me. God.
But I heard you. Yes. So the people sitting on their couches don't support you, but it's because you're a reflection of they're lacking, right? Yeah. And that doesn't mean like not everyone needs to be an athlete. Not everyone needs to be a part of this. Yeah. Like, that's fine. But it's their own self-perceived lacking is really what it is. And I'm like, again, that's not a me problem. I want to inspire you. And if you feel like to just be your best self, it doesn't need to be to go get in a ring and get punched in the face. Like, I want to inspire people to be their best selves and to work hard and to find like actual happiness. If that makes you defensive, then you should reflect on yourself.
100%. Yeah. And it's sometimes I almost kind of feel bad and I almost like want to talk to these people because it's like, oh, I've been there, like I've been in a place where I was insecure and where like I wasn't happy with myself and was jealous of other people. So it's like, I almost kind of feel bad sometimes. And that's why I guess I feel like I've started to handle it a lot better. Like when I first started making content, I'm sure you can relate to this. Like, it just felt like everybody hated me. And I was like, why does everybody freaking hate me? Like, what is the problem? God. What did I do to you guys? Jesus.
I was like, it's like I'm 12 all over again.
It literally, I don't understand. Seriously, it brought up so much trauma though from being bullied. I don't know. Gosh, did you have the same experience?
Yes, but it was weird because when I first started making content, it was people who knew me who were so unsupportive and so rude and so mean. They were like, they were like, yeah, so and so unfollowed you because like she just couldn't with what you were doing. And I was like, that sounds like something I didn't need to know because I barely care about that like I care about them as that person, but I don't care about their opinion. And like I got a lot of hate like that, and like people being like, why are you like why are you even making content? Like, why is it a thing? And I was like,
why are you so obsessed with yourself? Yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, I'm not. I
know.
Is it like
I'm like, I'm trying to inspire people, guys. You don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
And it's so sorry. It's so funny to me because then when I see when other people are starting out, like it doesn't even dawn on me to be like, ew, what are you doing?
I know.
Like,
I'm like,
it doesn't
you go,
even
girl.
occur to me. Exactly. I'm like, you have 100 followers and you want to post your daily outfit? Yes.
Oh, I'm the person in the comments with all the flame emojis. And I'm like, I'm here for
those flame emojis. It encompasses everything I feel. I'm like, this is fire. You are fire. Your personality's fire. Your content's fire. Everything. It's just too hot to handle. Like,
I love it. I love when somebody I know that I've known for a long time that I'm obsessed with, like all of a sudden just like starts making content. I'm like, oh yes.
Yes. I'm like, yes, it makes me so happy. I'm like, bro, I just watched someone grow from like 5,000 in the last like 6 months. They went from 5,000 followers to 60,000. And I was like,
wow.
Yes.
That's
I was
awesome.
so excited for them. I was like, bro. And their content's fire. I'm like, yes. It genuinely just makes me happy. I'm like, I love just seeing people succeed and put themselves out there and just, again, do what makes you happy.
Yes.
Like
100%. You have to live your life with purpose. And I feel like that's how you find happiness.
Agreed.
Yeah. It doesn't come from any certain amount of money. It doesn't come from having, any certain number of friends. It doesn't come from, going to all the coolest places or whatever and like wearing all the coolest clothes. Like, like to me, wearing the coolest clothes is like finding a fire hoodie on sale at Target, but that's just me. So
yes. I love that. I think it's so accurate, and I don't know. I like people just doing whatever the doing is. Like, do it for yourself. Yeah. Whether it's for 100 followers or 100,000 or 100 million, just do it. It's like, oh my, I sound like a Nike ad. Just do it. But
yeah, we're gonna get trademarked for this episode now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Nike, sponsor me.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to get that sponsorship guy.
My next fight kit. I'm ready.
Dude, that'd be awesome. You know whose fight kit was really freaking cool? Was Francis Ngannou. His Gymshark.
Really?
Did you see that? The robe?
I did.
Yeah. So dope. Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the way that fighters in like the professional world have been influenced to put more of the theatrics.
Oh, I love it.
Into their fight kits. I'm so into it. And I do think that's partially because of influencers and celebrity boxing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is so fun and it's so cool to see their personalities more. And like, I think it's so cool. It genuinely just makes me so happy. I'm like, yes, be creative. Yes. Don't just wear shorts you bought from like Adidas. Design them.
I agree. It's so cool. Yeah. So that's kind of your lane a little bit. I mean, I know you are on a 4-lane highway, like me, but you fought in Influencer Fight League. And so you kind of have a little bit of insight in like the influencer boxing arena. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when it first started, I was kind of like, I don't know about this. I was like,
that's
I don't know. This is kind of crazy. Like, I'm like, I don't know. But I think it was just because I was such a big like UFC person. Like I was just so into UFC. And so it just felt like wrong. But then now I love it. Like I think it's just because I like the personality side of it. I like to see people really kind of lean into their personality and be their true self. I think that's why like I love bare knuckle boxing, and like everybody tells me I'm crazy because I watch this stuff and I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like the vibe of it is so awesome. Like the walkouts are so amazing, and their outfits are so crazy. Oh my God, I love it.
So hype.
I love it. But they're in a real fight. So it's like, it's not WWE where it's all like fake. Like it's a real fight.
Yeah. Well, it's really, I feel like this is really marrying the two fields, I guess, right? Because it's still real fighting. Like the fights I've had, I really was getting hit. Like, and they really wanted to win. They didn't. Haha. But like it was a real fight. But being able to come out with that like theatrics, again, the theatrics, and just it hypes you up for a fight in a different way, in my opinion. When you get to be like just in your element and in your vibe and in your feelings about it, and you're just like surrounded by your energy and being like, I am powerful. It's just it's so cool. I love it. And I love this scene, to be honest. I've had like a couple hiccups, I guess, but I'm really excited to move forward and get into other arenas and other rings and really like, I love influencer boxing. I think it's so freaking fun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, and it's like, you've been training, it's not like you just decided to be a boxer, like you've been training for a long time and you've been involved in martial arts for a long time. So I feel like I don't know. I think sometimes people just don't quite understand how the sport works in general, and So they're like, oh, this is stupid. These people aren't real boxers. These people are real fighters. I'm like, well, what defines a real fighter? Because to me, if you get in the ring, you're a fighter.
Yeah.
So it's like, what?
I agree. I completely agree. If you're willing to get punched in the face and to punch someone else in the face, yeah, you're a fighter. And it's not just that. It's also like I think it's really funny as I'll talk to people and I'll get some disrespect about it being influencer boxing.
Can't imagine. Yeah.
And I get it. Like it's not like I'm sitting here being like, this is the epitome of purity for the sport. Okay. Like I'm not on a high horse about it. Yeah. I get it. But I always think it's interesting because I'll have these conversations and people will kind of talk down on it. And I'm like, no, I get it. Like I have a lot of respect for it. I respect every fighter who gets in the ring. But as soon as I start talking about like how I'm primarily a grappler, because that's where I feel the most comfortable, like in a real fight. I'm primarily a grappler. And as soon as I say grappling and like start using terms like grappling and striking, their tone changes so quick. I'm like, yeah, like getting used to striking was really hard for me because it was. Or like purely striking, especially without kicking. But getting used to just striking was really hard for me. And then talking about the mechanics of it and talking about how like the footwork's different. And then all of a sudden you see this like shift in demeanor where like, oh, you're like actually like,
yeah,
you're like actually
you can actually
and
kick
I'm like,
my ass.
and I'm like, bro, yeah, like I understand that it's different and I understand that we're not the pros, but majority of us are working our asses off to train and like put on a good fight. And it's new, 100%. Right? So
of course people are going to hate on anything that's new, for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also like, of course, a lot of fighters are going to be iffy because they're just starting. So I'm
that's
excited.
The same way with like
now,
any
be sick.
Any fighter, like when they first start.
Oh, agreed. Absolutely agreed.
It's the same thing. It's just that these people are hopefully making more money.
Yeah.
Like, don't you want them to make more money so they're not struggling?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see fighters make more money. If if they're putting in all this effort.
Yes.
It's like,
agreed.
That's the only way, because whether you like it or not, whether you like the theatrics or whether you like that or not, you think it's the WWE, it's like, whether you like it or not, it brings more people to the sport. It makes it more entertaining. It makes it more fun. And that is what's going to sell more tickets. And when you sell more tickets and you get more pay-per-views and you get more people watching it, that is how they make more money. It's just basic business 101.
Yes. I like 100%. And you're going to get people who are interested just because they're into Logan Paul or just because they're into KSI. Or whoever. I don't think people understand
how many fans they have too. It's like, dude, these kids love these guys. Absolutely. And it's like, is Logan Paul my favorite person on earth? No, but but he does bring a lot of eyeballs to it. Yeah, I mean, I've never talked to him, so it's like, I'm not even gonna judge.
So his persona is not my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know what's funny? Jake Paul's kind of grown on me. He's kind of grown on me.
Okay. Amanda Serrano is one of my favorite freaking people. And if she's co-signing Jake Paul, I'm like, he can't be that bad. He just can't. Like, I will follow. I've never been so parasocial with someone. I will follow Amanda Serrano into battle. I love that woman so much. And she's just like, Jake Paul's cool. I'm like, done. I don't know him. You do. You co-signed. I believe you. Like,
yeah, and for so long, like, I've been like, okay, like, because there's been, all their like controversies and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, okay, maybe they are, a terrible person. I don't know. But it's kind of like he is starting to grow on me a little bit, I will admit. And I feel like too, like, I don't know, there's so many fighters out there that maybe they did have like a past where, they had some issues, they had some problems, but now they're kind of like, I do believe that people can change and people can become better. And I feel like martial arts is something that does make people better. And I feel like when they truly find their an environment that they can thrive in, then it helps them become a better person in general. And I feel like Mike Perry
Agreed.
is an example of that too. Like, I feel like when he kind of went to BKFC and found his groove there, like he just, I don't know, it's like he kind of went from a low place to now just absolutely crushing it. And I've seen so many other fighters kind of do the same thing, and it's amazing because it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, I just want to see people win. And if they are working hard
Yes.
and they're grinding and they're putting in, the effort, then I want to see people win. I have a lot of respect for anybody who has that level of discipline and work ethic.
You have gone silent. Wait, I fixed it. I agree though. Sorry, I had to put my
You're
phone
fine.
in. It's been a little bit of a hectic day,
Oh no,
which
you're
is part of
good.
why I'm so frazzled. Um,
No
but I agree
worries.
with you. I think we see that a lot in fighting where people have these darker pasts or have mistakes. And
Yep.
at the end of the day, like not to analyze the Paul brothers, but I feel like they really are equivalent to child celebrities in terms of like
Yeah.
they didn't get to make any of their mistakes privately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything was on display from the beginning, and they've been involved in this since they were babies. Like not baby
Yeah.
babies, but like early teens. So it's I'm not, and that's a lot. That's a lot to be on anyone. So like, and now I feel like they are trying to do better things. And I never thought I would be on like pro Paul brothers public image because again, don't know them personally. Never thought I'd be pro their public image, but like it really does seem like they're trying to spread good messages now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like everyone deserves to have their little redemption arc if
Yeah,
it's needed and if they're willing to go on that journey.
definitely. Yeah, I feel like to just like, especially with child actresses, actors, well, you do acting.
Yeah.
So you kind of understand that world probably better than I do. But I feel like that's a big thing too. And I feel like we are starting to see a lot of like our favorite actors and actresses from when we were kids, like, starting to grow up and like
Yeah.
they're and I love kind of seeing them like kind of open up about it and like, you know, kind of seeing like their journey with it because it's like there's so many things that we did not think about. Like we were enjoying like
Yeah.
watching them and all the shows that we watched and everything, but we didn't see the behind the scenes and like how much that affected them and
Yeah.
how much different of a life that they, how they grew up and
Yeah.
how kind of detrimental it can be for sure.
Honestly. And the industry is so predatory in so many ways. Like, even for me, like, I know for my small experiences that I've had, I moved out to LA when I was 18 and I moved by myself and I was just like, this is what I'm
That's
doing.
crazy. Where are you
Um,
originally from?
Florida.
Oh, okay. My sister lives
Yeah.
in Florida.
Oh,
Nice.
it's a crazy place.
Yeah.
Um, but, but I'm originally from Florida and I moved when I was 18. I was going to school and stuff like that, like cool, but I was also doing modeling and acting and like the amount of times at 18 that like grown men were soliciting sex for favors. And I remember the first like 6 months I was here, it happened like 2 or 3 times where grown men were asking me to be in these very precarious situations in exchange for like I'll get you on this like I'll get you this audition,
Oh,
I'll get you in the studio, I'll do this, I'll do that. And
yeah,
I
it's
said
just
no to all of
disgusting.
them. It is. um and I'm not if I'm this is not me judging any woman that's been in that situation
Yeah,
and
of
made a different
course.
choice than me, but for me,
But when
I
it's
said
used
no
as
to
a
all of it.
manipulative tool,
Yeah.
then that's where it's a problem.
And I remember calling several adults who had been like adults who had
Mm-hmm.
been impactful in my upbringing and just thanking them for giving
Yes.
me the tools to recognize that manipulation and have the strength to say no, even though I was being offered steps in my dream.
Oh my
And
gosh, yeah, it's horrifying that
oh my
happens
gosh, yeah,
so much.
so much. Because it's not like I'm not like freaking. I'm not Ariana Grande. I'm not any of these. I'm not any of these people. I'm not. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm not Amanda Bynes. Like I'm not an actual like that yet at all. And
Yeah.
it's like it so in my head, on my first have happened to me, I can only imagine this the slew of just undesirable situations that these people, that these children were put in.
Oh my God, I know. It makes me sick thinking about it because it's like, yeah, there's some really messed up people out there.
Yeah.
Some really messed up people. And then, but then, like, you get judged for it too at the same time. So it's like
Yeah.
you get manipulated into doing things that, you didn't even want to do. And then you get
Yeah.
judged for it and shamed for it afterwards. So it's like double trauma. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad. So bad. Um, yeah. It breaks my heart sometimes seeing what a lot of these celebrities, even if they weren't a child actor, even some
Oh,
of them
yeah.
that started in adulthood too. It's like, oh my gosh.
It's
Yeah. It's hard, but yeah, well, man, I could talk to you for probably 7 hours. So I'm gonna have you on again sometime for sure because
yes.
this was so much fun. I'm so
This
glad that
is
you
so
came
fun.
on.
You were so
Yeah.
lovely to talk to. And we're friends now, so we'll chat.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, hit me up anytime. And of course, we never expect each other to respond right away, but
Yes.
we'll get
We
there.
understand.
That's like me and my best friend. Well, she lives out of state now. She moved, but um she's like that type of friend where like we can cancel on each other, we can not respond to text messages, and we do not get offended. Like we have an agreement because we're both so busy and we're both just like so, like we do
Love
so
that.
many different things and like we have all these people we're trying to hang out with and talk to, and so and also we're just like we like our alone time, and
Yeah.
and like we've literally canceled on each other so many times and just been like, yeah, not feeling it.
I have friends like that. And I'm like, oh, thank
The
God. We
best.
get it. Like people who
The
get it, I'm
best.
just like, yes.
Those are my people. That's my tribe for
Gosh.
sure. Well, awesome. Well, is there anybody you want to like shout out, any, whatever you want to say, the floor is yours before we go. If there's anything you want to make
Um,
sure to mention.
yeah, absolutely. If you're, I highly recommend, oh, that was the cat. I'm sorry. I highly, I highly recommend, um, any and all women find there are so many different types of combat sports. Find one. I promise you will not regret it. Um, like shop around, find what
Yes.
fits. Um, for everyone else, I do want to shout out to companies called Nature Beyond Threads, um, which is a woman-owned kind of yoga clothes company. Super
Nice.
amazing, very ethical and sustainable. And then another one called Revolted Soul, also a woman-owned, and they donate to cancer research because the owner is a survivor.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, oh my gosh, yeah. Amazing athletic wear. They also have men's wear. Super freaking cute. I kind of think it has a similar vibe to Kill Crew. So if you're looking for kind of like
Nice.
a less expensive one, I would go that way. And then other than that, just guys, keep being awesome. Like find out the things that really get you moving, get you inspired. Um, and I just check me out my next fight.
Yes. Yeah. Let me know as soon as you find out or as soon as you can announce it.
Yeah, as soon as I
Yeah,
can
let me
announce
know. I'll
it,
support you any way I
straight to you.
can.
Same to you, honestly. We're
Awesome.
buddies now.
Thank you.
So
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
a ride or
Homies for
dyer.
life.
So in your corner for life.
Same. I'll be
I love
reacting
this.
with the flame emojis for sure.
Oh, frick, yeah, ditto. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I love you guys. I love everyone. Just be kind when you
Same.
can.
Yeah, exactly. There's too much negativity in the world
My gosh. All right.
for sure. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited to start editing this and get this out to the world. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go hang out with my dog before I go to bed.
Yes.
So that's what I'm about to do.
I love it. Get it.
All right, girl. Well, I will talk to you again soon. I'm sure I'll have you on here again in the near future. So hit me up anytime. Anytime you need anything, just let me know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mama.
All right. Have a good night.